2025 is the start of a new 80-year cycle. Our society in this country changes drastically every 80 years. What was happening in 1945? World War II was ending. 1865, the Civil War was ending. 1785, our U.S. Constitution was being created. Think about that. But let's break it down every 40 years. From 1785 until 1825, we were in our infant stage. We had no idea what we were doing. We were starting to explore this land. Things were booming. Things were actually really great for our country at this time. Don't get me wrong, there were some bad things going on. There always is. But this is the birth of our nation. Things are going to be a little crazy. 1825 to 1865, some very dark times. Slavery was rampant. The Trail of Tears was happening. The Civil War was happening. We were in a lot of unrest. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. And then 1965 happened until 1925. This is when we've left our infant stage and went into our toddler stage. We moved into our ego versus our id. The land rush was happening. Industry was booming. Reconstruction was happening. We were doing wow. And then what was happening in 1905? Women were starting to get a little testy, realizing that their voice mattered. World War I happened. Of course, things were going pretty good, and then the Great Depression happened. This is when our grandparents and our great-grandparents were born. And then the worst thing that could happen to our country, we were pulled into World War II. Things were ugly. And then 1945, World War II ended, and the birth of the American dream happened. And for the next 40 years, things were crazy good. Don't get me wrong, we had some unrest, civil rights movement, for example. But this is the birth of information. This is the birth of understanding what's going on throughout the country. People were talking to one another. And then 1985 happened. And the powers that be, the people that really are in control of this country, didn't like all the progressive things that were going on. Didn't like that people were communicating. This is when control of us really started. Project 2025 started in 1985. And what has been going on for the past 40 years? The birth of the internet, the birth of access to information, real access. And every year for the past 40 years, what has the powers that be that really run this country been trying to do? Put a chokehold around us. Let's get real. 9/11 happened. Iraq and Afghanistan, the birth of social media. And now people are connecting, really connecting. If you all think we haven't been in a revolution already, we're in a technological revolution and we are coming to an end of it because we're done. We said it's enough. So don't give up. The war's almost done. This app let the cat out of the bag and we're not going back in. Keep fighting. It's almost done.